My introduction, where do I start? Well, I'm a Korean American. Half of my heritage is Swedish and my mom is Korean. So obviously my dad's American. I was born in Arlington, Virginia, and I lived there maybe 1 or 2 years. Then I moved to New York when I was 3. And then I lived there until about 5. And then I came to Korea. And I came to Korea, I went to Korean public school for 3 years. And then before returning back to the US, I went to a foreign school for a little bit. And then I made my way back to Minnesota because my grandparents were getting old there. So we spent some time with them there. And I lived in Minnesota for about 20 some years. And then I made my way back here. So I've been in Korea for almost 6 years now. Yeah, we had kind of a nice life when we were living here when I was young. And then, as I said, my grandparents were getting older. So my dad made the decision to move back. So initially, my dad and I moved back first. Then 2 months later, my sister came over. Then my mom and my youngest brother came over to live in the States. Unfortunately, my mom tried to quit her job a couple times, but they couldn't find a good enough replacement. So they kept on luring her back to Korea. So after a while, we lost her to Korea. Yeah. So my dad raised us until we were out of high school. And then when my youngest brother graduated from high school, he moved back to Korea for about 10 years. So our family has done this little zigzag type of stuff. Yeah. And then now my mom and everybody lives back in the States. And I'm the only, what would you call, 외톨이? Yeah, a loner, yeah, in Korea. It was actually pretty tough for me in middle school. My parents were very rigid, right? So they didn't have me swear, they didn't have me. So I was a very good kid. And I was very small too at that time. I wasn't this, I was very skinny. Even in high school, second year of high school, I was only 55 kilograms. So I wasn't really that big. So I got picked on a lot. When I told the kids not to swear, they made fun of me even more. It was my heritage, it was my clothes. I had Korean clothes, people didn't understand that. I had tighty whities on. When in gym class, they're looking at that, they're changing their clothes and they're looking at me while they're all wearing boxer shorts and they're, I'm just a target with everything, right? When I went to the swimming pool, I had Speedos on because that's what Koreans wore, right? So I just brought every clothes that I had from Korea and I transferred them into the American life. So everything about me was very weird to these kids, right? The way I looked and everything was very different too. So even in, going to the swimming pool and stuff like that, I had to be self-conscious. Everybody made fun of me for that too. So yeah, it was pretty rough. Before that point, when I lived in Korea, we barely dribbled a ball. We barely did anything. Sport wasn't really encouraged. It wasn't really that big. Once a year, we'll have this sports festival, right? And then we'll have the 100-meter dash or some other stuff that we get together to do. So I had no skills. Even in gym class when we're playing basketball or something like that, I'd be the last kid picked, right? I can't dribble the ball that well. I can't make a basket if my life depended on it. It was really rough, right? So sport-wise, America is very developed in that way, right? They're encouraged from grade 1, even in kindergarten. So all these kids had 8 to 7 years of experience that I didn't have, right? Already I'm an outcast, but in gym class, I was even more of an outcast. So finally, when this 3-week period came where the running event came, right? And when we did the mile run, I started passing everybody and everybody's like, what is this, right? And then the gym class teacher, he was like, oh my gosh, I got to recruit this kid because he was also the track coach. So from then on, I was a 7th grader and I was beating all the 8th grader. I went to the sectional meet and there was this legendary mile runner kid from a different high school. And everybody's like, you can't beat this guy. He's untouchable, right? And my coach at that time, he just said, hey, you don't need to beat him, but don't lose him too far. And I think the first couple laps, he was already 100-meter ahead. I mean, 100-meter ahead is a long ways. It was the whole straightaway, right? And then slowly but surely, just pegging off other people that was, in the middle. And then the last lap, I think he was maybe 30 meters away, which was still far away. And then my coach was just go for it, right? And I ended up beating him. And then everybody's just where did this kid come from, right? Nobody even heard of this Asian kid, right? And then all of a sudden he just breaks this legendary kid, right? At that point, people started respecting me more. I kind of made a hot issue of myself. That way I was able to just get a lot of confidence and also just kind of grow really, as I said, out of my shell, yeah, and just have some value in me before I didn't know what I was good at. The transition to Korea was just a life change, right? And like Minnesota is a great place for outdoors, having a family, having hobbies and stuff like that. But it was a little bit tough for a person that wanted to enjoy meeting people, having a nightlife and that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to meet more people. I wanted to get more out of my life. I've done medical sales for 12 years and I was actually kind of bored with it. Initially, the money was good. I was making pretty good money. And then the industry started to change, right? The hospital wanted to pay you less. The companies wanted to pay you less. So I found myself working more for less money. So that wasn't the answer anymore. So I needed to find something else I could do. And I just said, with my childhood memories, let me try the furthest place first. Let me see what Korea is like in the adult eyes. So I came here for 3 weeks over in Nowon. I really love climbing the mountains. And then I just met a lot of people, had a lot of fun. And then when I went back for 3 months, I just kind of got rid of all my stuff, sold all those different things. Yeah, and then I made the big move here. There's this story about a bat, right? And then he doesn't even fit in the bird kingdom. He doesn't really fit in the mammal kingdom. I felt like that all the time. I identified myself as an American more as opposed to a Korean. But when I came to Korea, everybody was like, oh, 미국 사람, right? When I went to America, I was like, oh, this Asian kid, right? So I really felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Yeah, and it was always just trying to find ways to identify who I was. And I just had to kind of identify myself as this unique person in this world, right? Yeah. But it wasn't easy to be there, yeah, because nobody accepted you for who you were. Yeah. My mom was pretty well versed in English, right? I didn't need to learn Korean anymore to communicate with her. So there was no cheese down that tunnel. But for me, if I was gonna live in Korea and this was gonna be my permanent place to live, at least for a long time, I needed to learn Korean. I needed to absorb their tradition, their heritage, and different things like that. So I just immersed myself. It was okay for me to get things wrong. It was okay for me to act stupid. I just gave permission to everybody around me to correct me, to tell me things, and I asked just a bunch of questions, right? So I feel blessed, and I feel really bad for gyopos, yeah, because when I go to a Korean ajashi or ajumma, they don't see a Korean in me. Maybe if I meet 30 people, one will ask me if I'm a halfie, right? Most people think I'm just a foreigner. So for me to speak Korean, it's they just love it. It's wow, this guy is so refreshing. How do you speak it so well? You know the ins and out, you know the saturi, everything, right? It's it's amazing. But the gyopos are really just sad because if they don't know Korean and they come here and they're speaking English, the 아저씨s and 아줌mas and our 할머니, 할아버지s will be 어휴, 저 한국말도 모르겠냐, so they love me, So sometimes I feel bad when I'm next to gyopos, right? They're just getting the blunt end of the stick, right? While I'm getting all the the sweetness from these, middle-aged and older grandma and grandpas, right? I think people just need to just kind of be sure of themselves. And if you don't know, just explore things, try different things out. I think a lot of people are just in their shell, and some people just never come out of their shell. And when I say how good Korea is, and a lot of people hate Korea, a lot of Koreans just want to move out of Korea. It's wait a minute, you have all these opportunity here. You have all these different things. You have all these geological type of stuff you can go to, and you can, all of these different things you can taste and stuff like that. And you're gonna complain? I came here with almost nothing. And some people might say oh, because you have, this and this and this. Yeah, I have this and this and this, but I don't have that and that and that. But I made a conscious choice to see people. I made a conscious choice to work hard. I made a conscious choice to try to tackle different things. Yesterday, shooting on YouTube, I did tumbling, right? Tumbling, okay, it sounded fun, but like I never really pursued to go to a tumbling class. But when I went there, like I did a backflip that I haven't done in like 20 years, right? So I overcame something. And then they wanted to teach me something else. I was already tired, right? I'm like 44 years old. I don't need to be doing like flying kicks and stuff like that. But, like I pushed myself. And once I did it, I was really happy. But like a lot of people would just kind of give up, before they even got there. So my message is like, don't give up. Just keep on pushing, keep on striving for what you want to be and make yourself greater than what you were yesterday. And I think that's my message to people. My name is Kesung Anderson, and this is my Korean American story.